question about the bios. Okay, so this is what I was saying about the two different types. Ross did the psychological breakdown of what you need to have in your actual story, like your full story that kind of includes who you work with, who you don't, what's your passions, all the things that makes you human as a person, for a person to connect with you, right, and to engage with you. That's what he broke down. But there's two different types of bios. There is your standard commercial real estate bio, that when a person first glances at your bio, whether that's on your website, it might be on a marketing piece like a mailer, because you can't put the big long version on your mailer, something that's shorter. That one is the one that says you're a commercial real estate advisor or the managing director of your team name or your company name, and it has your broker's name. It says what you specialize in, what markets you specialize in, and then it gives a couple of lines about what you do, like maybe what you did before you got into commercial real estate, so that you can connect briefly and quickly with a person when they're reading your bio. It may also have your affiliations. Like when I do them, I put your affiliations, your memberships, what you're a part of, so that gives you some extra credibility. And in total, that shouldn't be any longer than 2 paragraphs. If you can get it down to 1, that's fantastic. I think most of mine are probably 2 paragraphs that have all that in it. That's just your kind of no frills. This is who you are. This is what you do. This is what you specialize in. Here's something about me that can connect. Like if I was doing Targans, it would have that Targan is a commercial real estate advisor with At Attention Realty, powered by EXP Realty, right? She specializes in investing for veterans, investment sales, short-term rental properties, something along those lines, right? And then it would say, before she got into commercial real estate, she was in is it Navy? What branch were you in, Targan?
Navy drill sergeant.
She was a Navy drill sergeant, or she was a drill sergeant with the U.S. Naval, whatever the official name is for the Navy. That's what I would put in there. And I might say she's passionate about helping veterans and enlisted personnel invest in, make the most of their pensions, position themselves, build wealth, blah, blah, blah. That would be short, right? Something that spells out who she is, so that her ideal client, when they're reading it, says, I need to call her, because she's not like all the other commercial real estate advisors. Yep. Oh, she's like me. I need to call her. So there would be something in there that would spell out what you do, right? And then it would have, depending on what her affiliations were, it would have some affiliations. Let's say if she's a CCIM candidate, or if she has earned her designations from the NCREA, I would say that she's a National Commercial Real Estate Advisor, Certified Real Estate Investment Planning Specialist, and I would name a couple of other things, right? And that would be the end of that bio. That's the one business bio that if you have to go to an event that's all business, that you're going to give them to read about you. The other bio, the second one, will have a lot of that same thing in there, but it's like a longer version of that bio. And that one has, like your story, has more info about you. Like for Susan, if I was doing a longer one for Susan, it would have in there about her background as a flipper. She's like that. Susan is like HGTV, the HGTV of Kentucky. Yes. Is what she is. So for hers, it would have, about her remodeling ability, her ability to identify an investment property and advise you on the best remodeling strategies to keep costs low and help you get the highest return. And then it would talk about how we're positioning her as a hometown person. She knows all about Kentucky. So if you're looking for a commercial real estate investment, if you're looking for an investment, like a residential investment, that Susan is the person that you're to contact. So that second bio, for those of you who asked, is just more personal. It's longer, gives you more time to engage with the person. Mm-hmm. If they're interested and they're still reading, that's a good thing. It's kind of like when, I don't know if we have an unqualified agent now, but we used to have a super short one on there about me, and then we did a long one. And every now and then I'll get someone that will say something that's in that bio that I've totally forgot that's even in there. And I'm like, how'd they know that? And it's because it's in the bio, this long bio that we got on there. So 2 bios, one is short and corporate, gives the basics of what you do and with some kind of hint that speaks to your ideal client to make them want to call you. And the second one is longer, more flowing. You can put it on a marketing piece. You could put it as a like a one pager about yourself, like for speaking, like for Orlando, you're the speaker. So your speaker one sheet would have that longer one on there.
And it goes with the whole process of brand story creation as well, because it can tell something about your past that connects you with your audience. It can tell about your process and how you work with and who you specifically serve and how you serve them that differentiates differentiates you from the rest of the crowd. And I just wanted to mention that real quick, that's why it's so important to get clear about that and to really think about your past and how it relates to your ability to serve well your clients now. And also speaking about modeling too, Susan did videos prior that were really, really good. She's like really great on camera and all that.
Yeah.
But Susan also thought about HGTV. She was like, you know what,
She
I
modeled.
can model
She
what they
modeled.
do. They go in and they talk and they show. I can go in, I talk, I show, right? So that modeling is a powerful thing to keep in mind whenever you're thinking about doing your videos, whenever you're think about who would you like to be? Who's at the top of the game right now and how do they present themselves when they're out there at the top of their game?
I'll tell you who else has that. Kendra has photos. Kendra has these photos that are phenomenal. She went and paid a high-end photographer to do her pictures, and they have a celebrity look. You know, when you look at these pictures of Kendra, you assume that she's a celebrity of some sort. Mover and shaker, and it's because she modeled what are people, where I'm going, where I'm trying to go, what do they look like? And the photographer that she brought in and the makeup that she did, everything that she did gives her this dynamic look, very memorable, which I don't normally say that about photos that we didn't have, that we didn't take, because most of the time we have to have them redone. Kendra is actually the first time I'm using someone else's, another photographer's photos that we did. It's not a part of our network because her stuff is that good. She modeled the concept. So I should have showed them, but I didn't ask her for permission, so I won't. But modeling is where is that guy.
Compare it to today's look.
So what you want to do, guys, whoever it is that you all like Susan, she's in a remodeling industry. She modeled HGTV. And we're going to take that to a whole new level and making her like the hometown girl. Orlando, you're a Gary Vee guy. So you look at Gary Vee and the other people that you like and start just absorbing, not just looking at them for what they're saying and teaching you guys, but let me absorb this because I need to be that person. I need to spill this back out because that's what works. So, you know, pick your people and then start watching them, watch what they're doing. Ross has a saying, don't look at what they're saying, what they're trying to sell you, look at what they're doing. What are they doing? You know, so that's what you all want to do when it comes to modeling, when it comes to commercial. Did I answer you all's questions about the two bios and does it make sense?
Awesome.
So just to clarify, the long form bio would go on your website potentially, a one pager, right, for speaking engagements, what have you. Not too many places, but the shorter version is what you use on social media, postcards, mail, letters, whatever, intros.
You use them alternatively. Those two bios actually both go on your website. On the home page, there's the short one. The first thing they see is the short one. Then there's a learn more button.
Read
so if
more,
they're
learn
interested,
more.
read more, learn more. So if they want to learn more about you, they're engaged with you at that point. Let them hit the learn more button and then they get the whole story. And that story can even be, for some of you, it may not be a written bio. It may be you talking.
Right.
You know, maybe you talking, like I think Daniel has a video, I think, like that. It's going to be added to his website. You know, so it could be you talking. It may not be a long version of you, of a written version, but you have to work that out first so that you can know. Evan, I will post some examples of those bios in the group.
Cool.
I'll make a note and I'll post them in there. We need to let Candy in.
Oh, where is Candy? Hold on one second.
What other questions do you all have? Do I need to recap what you guys need to do in case some of you all have to jump off the call? Okay, recap. In a few minutes, when this call is over, I'm going to post the checklist into the group so that you all can go ahead and start reviewing your marketing. Even if you all had a professional, even if it's us that did your marketing, you want to go through that checklist and see, what do I have? What do I not have? Because some of the things that's on that list we may not have done, like email signatures. Your email signature and your title is very important, you know, so that's something you want to make sure that you've got that. So go through it, even if we've done your marketing already. Go through the checklist, see what you've got, what you don't have, and if you have questions about it, or if there's something you want us to look at, maybe you're like, hey, can you look at we told you all we would do a brand analysis. If you want to put your stuff in there and say, hey, well, can you look at this? I think it's okay, or I'm not sure if it's okay. Can you take a look at it for me? We'll take a look and we'll send you a video explanation or something back, okay? Hi, Candy. We're glad you made it.
Is she? Are you in, Candy? Are you there?
Candy's like this rock star.
She's her assistant.
Candy is this rock star in Fort Lauderdale that's just amazing.
Yeah.
She started out super strong. She had a residential background and got into commercial. And I don't think I've met anyone that did what Candy did in her first year for commercial. You know, she did fantastic just for starting out. So super proud of her.
Targan, would you mind me critiquing your video right now? We won't watch it, but I can tell you a couple of things.
Should we do it
I'll
now?
tell you. Yes, we will.
I'll
I'll
wait
do it
for
real
video.
quick because she's here. That you did amazing. Your energy's great. Love all those things. If you hit it when the sun's going down, that'd be better. That golden hour gives you a better look. I love what you used for your background. That was fantastic, beautiful view of the thing. And also, just when you're communicating with your hand and things like that, you've got great energy. Keep that energy bottled up and kind of control it more, like that, like slower. You don't want to let it all out. Just kind of keep it bottled up so they can kind of feel it more coming from you than expressing it. And that's just a nervous thing that sometimes we do when we're like under pressure or whatever. But 90%, 100% rocked it. The only thing you need to change is that. I'd like to see you keep more of it in and kind of express it more controlled a little bit. But other than that, fantastic, great. And also we're going to structure some of what you're talking about. But you are definitely made for video, and you're going to do amazing. You did absolutely amazing. Great personality. Keep that personality. And also background, absolutely excellent. But we're just going to get you into the meat of what you're talking about faster. I'd rearrange your things a little bit so you can start off immediately telling them what they're going to get, and then you brand yourself afterwards, because you put first what they're going to get, and so that they'll keep listening, and then you tell them afterwards about your brand and those type of things. But absolutely, overall, yeah, you just got a couple of tweaks, but you're definitely going to crush it with video. I was very, very proud, and great composition too. I like that background. That was pretty interesting. But that golden hour is always going to be the best. That golden hour, either in the morning time when the sun's low, or in the afternoon when the sun's in. And
those we'll talk about more in the week of video, with the actual steps of what do you need to do in order to
Target
create
is
your
doing
videos.
it. She is doing the hardest part, getting out there and actually doing it, which is phenomenal. So proud of you.
So I have a question. I shot a couple various videos actually with all different tidbits of information, things I was saying. So that first one I sent to you, that was in my head. My 8-year-old was my camera woman director.
She worked it. That's good.
Yeah, I told her pan left, pan right. So okay, so so yeah, we'll talk more, and I'll send you those other videos as well. But absolutely, I love the feedback. Thank you, and I will put those to play. My question, I think, kind of will piggyback in something I saw Orlando had put in here. As far as branding, needing another logo. One of the things I had an epiphany about, and probably be a spring on you, Tracy, but right, is I want to have. Oh wow, what just happened? Okay. I want to have a nation for my brand. So I have my letters for the branding, but I want to tag nation to the back of it, because I want to have it as that brand retreats, that brand academy, that brand, everything that ties. But of course I have my realty brand. So this nation would almost be like the secondary, that I'm talking to my female veterans. And I'll just say it's FVI Nation. So Female Veteran Investor Nation, right? So then the academy, the retreats, the whole nine for us to build this thing and grow. So would that be something that is recommended, being that it's two brands going parallel together, or would you say incorporating one, or just making it more of yourself, like, Targan, academy or whatever, something like that? Can you speak to that?
I would make 2 different logos. You need the first one for your realty, but did you get those from Bernadette?
I just got those today.
Keep your real estate, and because you are building a separate brand with FEI Nation, which is really cool, you can make that more girly. You could do lots of things with that, however you envision it. I would make that 2 separate logos.
Okay.
And when you put your marketing up there, we'll just have 2, and you can decide if you want to do that through Target or if you want to do that through the real estate company. But I would brand it. I would create a brand out of it.
Okay.
Because that's something that's, that can grow huge.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. What other questions we got, guys? We got Evan that needs bios that are in. Oh, Candy, thank you for that. She's like, for the great website you and Ross built for me that keeps bringing businesses in. This is why we love you. This is why we love you.
That's our goal. Yes. Well, we can need that check right after. Is this on?
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, guys, let me say this. I didn't mention this. When it comes to your image, I cannot tell you all how that turns into money quickly. I don't know if you all ever heard me share the story about an agent named Phyllis, who's now retired. She had been in the business for 25 years, never could make it past she wasn't where she wanted to be. And she said, I'm retiring in 4 years and I want to go out with a bang. Her average transactions were maybe 120,000 was the max, 130,000 at the max. And she came to me because she wanted help. And when I asked her to bring me her marketing to show me what she was doing and put her stuff out there, she brought me a letter that had 3 little stars on it. It was her like introducing herself, and she put some stars on it to make it creative, which, we find that's a common thing, because people who are normally really good at what they do, they're normally not good at marketing themselves. They're good at what they do. That's what they're focused on, not trying to market themselves. Right. So I started asking her questions. I interviewed her, which is something you guys have gone through with me, some of you. I interviewed her to find out what makes her, what kind of agent is she, because I didn't know her in that kind of way. And what I discovered is that she had a lot of things that she did that really made her a good agent, like really good. Things that I had never done in my career and wouldn't even think about doing. Like, she scrubbed a floor to make it, she knew something about the type of floor that was there and that it wasn't shiny and it was not at its full potential. So she personally went in there. I would have called a cleaning company. I would not have done it. She went in there and personally scrubbed these floors, and when she showed me the pictures, it's dynamic. I mean, the pop and the shine on these pictures was crazy, but she did that to make the property present itself in the best way. She also had a policy where she always went and put red mulch. Every time she got a new listing, she would go buy red mulch, to the point where the people in the office would tease her, like, where are you going with that red mulch? So she would put it on the house to give it curb appeal. All that stuff is things that as a seller, I'd be impressed with. I'm like, you're going to make sure my house really shines? You're not going to pass a bill off to me? You're going to do it? You did it yourself? What? You're going to put some red mulch in front of my yard to make it pop? So I looked at her transactions and realized that she was a strong negotiator. And how I knew this is because when she gave me her transactions, all of them closed at either at or very, very close to listing price. And the only way to do that in a market that's not a seller's market is if you are a really dang good negotiator. So I'm like, Phyllis, let's redo this whole thing. She didn't have a website. She was going with whatever the company gave her for their broker site. I'm like, let's get you an image. Let's tell your story of who you are and what you do. Let's get all this out here. Let's show your transactions. Phyllis killed it. Phyllis retired in the multi-million-dollar club for Coldwell Banker for the first time in her, and she's like, and she sent me, in fact, I don't know if I still have it on Facebook, but she put a post on there, thank you for giving me 4 great years and helping me to go out with a bang.
Yeah. How old was Phyllis? I think she was like
Phyllis was 60 when she came to us.
Yeah.
And she nailed it, but her prices kept going up immediately once and I didn't even do a website for her. For her, we did everything else. We did a listing presentation for her and marketing materials and everything. We hear the story repeatedly, whether it's a friend that we did something for, like we have a friend who makes cakes. We gave her a professional baking site, and immediately she got a phone call the day that she posted it saying, I'm looking for a partner. I want to bring this concept from the UK into the US. I've been monitoring your Facebook for a while. I've been looking for people to help, but no, I haven't found anyone that has a professional image. Guys, having your look right and putting yourself out there in a way, because there's something about all of you that are diamonds, right? When you put yourself out there for who you are and what your special superpower is, right, and you look right, it turns into money every time. It really does, because it gives people a confidence that they can trust you. It gives them a confidence that you're a professional, that you know what you're doing, and it puts you in the same category as the companies that have been doing this for a long time. This is why we put so much into what we do with our websites and with talking with our clients. We spend a lot of time talking, because in that conversation, it's where the nuggets are, the things that make you good that you don't even think about. That's where they are. They're in that interview process.
Everyone here is liked by somebody, and there's reasons why those people like you. And you find that out. The thing is that Phyllis didn't have, nobody knew her. So if they don't know you, they can't like you. And if they don't like you, they can't trust you. So looking for that factor, that KLT factor, know, like, and trust. What do they need to know about you? And if they know this about you, this certain segment of people will like you. And when they know you and they like you, they need you for business. As long as you're expressing what it is uniquely that you do, that you're going to go a little bit extra for them, and not general, but specific. As far as what's the specific methodology, process, or whatever that you do that adds that extra on to them. Is it, we went through that already, but that know, like, and trust factor, hopefully Tracy can extract that from you guys and be able to position that in a way. I know she'll be able to do it, not even hopefully, just that you're willing to share with her what she needs to know to be able to put together a vision that when people see that vision, they know, like, and trust you, and then they engage with you in business. Like, it really is about positioning, because we all have intrinsic value. We all have value. We all have something special. Every human being birthed on this earth has something special. It's a matter of communicating that in a way to where people psychologically can receive it and then engage with you in business. That's it.
For those of you that are our marketing clients or coaching students, that's something, we're going to do that or have already done that with you. If you are not a coaching student or a marketing client,
What's wrong with you? No, just joking.
for that, you would need to at least do book a strategy session, which is a paid thing, and that's because it takes time to do this. It takes a lot of time for me to do this. So even pulling out your pointers and talking to you and stuff about it, the schedule's a bit insane. So if you're not one of my clients already, then for that you'd want to book a strategy session if that's something that you wanted me to help you with, okay? Or what you could do is just go through, this is what, I think how I should put myself out there, and you can put that in the group, and that's totally free, okay?
Yeah, but look into that. Get your foundation built rock solid. Get clear on that. Then all of your other marketing will flow easily. All of your videos will flow easily. Your podcasts will flow easily, because you'll know who you are, who you're seeking to attract, what your superpowers are. Because people are going to ask the same questions. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you know that will benefit me? And how do you do it? They're going to always ask those questions, right? And how do you do it different from the other guy? And if you just get that solid, then everything that you come out of your mouth before, you can say those same things over and over. Tony Robbins says the same thing over and over. Gary Vee says the same things over and over. All these guys say the same thing. I can tell you exactly. I'm sure you can, Orlando, you, Daniel, can tell you, Evan, you tell us exactly what is Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen says the same thing. Joyce Meyer says the same thing. David Goggins, same thing. They say the same thing because they're clear on what their value is and what they believe will give you the greatest advantage in life. So when it comes to your business, get clear on that. Like, you're going to be saying the same thing, Target. You're going to be saying the same thing to female investors. You need to do A, B, and C. That you're going to be saying the same thing over and over, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that's what you need to do. Because repetition for emphasis, right? They'll get it, and they'll see you as that person with that answer that is resonating with that audience that you desire to impact.
It's true. All right, guys. What other questions can we answer that you all have right now? Has this been useful to you all? Or has it just been a bunch of talking?
Awesome. We got one thumbs up. I got two. All right. Thanks, guys.
Are you clear on some actionable steps of what you should be working on this week? Okay. I'm going to post them in the group as well. I'll put the bios in there. By the weekend, we'll also have, I'll put some of the logos in there for those of you that need that. And what else? Checklist. So make sure, guys, you schedule some time. Like, even though we're doing this for like an hour and a half on average, make sure you schedule some time, like 30 minutes or something out of the week, to make sure that you've gone through whatever we post, because that's going to help you get the most out of this. Because we're basically we're taking you all through what we do and how we do it. So for those of you that need to do this yourself, you've got some kind of advantage over everyone else, and you can put some things out there for yourself. And for those of you who already work with us, the reason why you're on this call is because it helps you to take it the rest of the way. What we start for you, it helps you to finish it, and it also gives you some materials that you can share with your VAs, because this is going to be in the group where you all have access to this, where you can just give it to your new assistant when you get one. Okay.
Yeah, and please, guys, if there's anything that's challenging to you, or that could have been, you need a little more feedback on, a little more expressed, please let us know in the group. We have no hard feelings about this. We want this to be a living thing that actually achieves a result for you guys. So there's no stupid questions. There's none of that. It's just, okay, I just need a little more clarity on this.
Right.
What does this mean? Could you break it down more? And we will do that. We'll make that happen.
Is it possible to get samples or examples or formulas or templates on all these categories? Like, you're sharing a bunch of logos, like a set of logos, to kind of get a feel for what it should look like. And same thing, I'm just curious for the bios, the general corporate bio and the general bio.
Yes.
Or a short form bio, a long form bio, I guess.
We'll get that in there. We'll get that in by the weekend. And Orlando, because you and I are actually coaching together, I'll actually be working through that with you. so you don't have to think about that so much.
Yeah.
But
But
yes, we
you
will
said
put templates in there for the
templates for
bios.
short and long.
With the
Yeah,
logo.
yeah, like the formula, the structure of what it should
Okay.
flow like. I mean, you gave and you also, you can share the notes on, I took notes on it, but the video structure too. There was, I think, a
Yes.
3-part
Yes.
video formula. Just make sure you answer those 3 questions, cover it.
Okay.
I think you mentioned it should be 2 minutes or less, I think. So,
With the video, that's a whole session.
Yeah.
So you'll really get a chance to
Yeah.
go deep into that. With the logos, they're going to be actual logos that you can actually customize. If you have a graphic designer that can do it for you, so you'll actually be able to just go in there, have it modified for you, and that's going to be free to you all. If you all want us to do it, then there'll be a small charge to cover our graphic designer to do it for you. But yeah, those are going to be free if you want to use one of those, because the database is going in that membership site, so you all will be able to have access to that.
Yeah, and they're based on what's really working, what's really strong, and what we really believe in, and we've seen have that impact that we want you guys to have.
Yeah, so that'll be good. Like if you don't have one and you're not able to get your marketing done right, it'll give you something. It won't be custom, but it'll be something that you can at least get started with and do something with.
Give you the right.
definitely helpful. Definitely helpful. I mean, because I'm looking at my list here, just things to do before, I guess, next week. It's the company name, which is, you can figure it out. But the title is one of the things you mentioned that you should just have with a phone number. So the title, can you just give me an example? Like, is it typically like a commercial real estate advisor, commercial real estate consultant? Is it really the professional, commercial real estate professional? What is the most popular one that you recommend to start one, if, just default?
These are my favorite. If you have it for you're a broker, so yours can actually be broker, and commercial real estate advisor is my favorite. Commercial real estate consultant. I'd stay away from professional and realtor. So you want to be specific. Managing director is one that I like to use a lot. If you have
a managing director, okay.
Managing director, especially for those of you that are residential, where you're doing residential and commercial. Managing director is a great title for your commercial side, because you need to, you don't need to have out there that you're a residential real estate agent as well. It's just managing director.
I like that.
Those are my favorite for those.
So I'm doing both residential and commercial, so managing director would be better.
Mm-hmm.
I have to look up that job description and what they typically define that as.
A managing director is basically, it's the same as a broker, same as a team leader. It's just more corporate. That's all. That they normally have a team under them. They have someone to manage. So managing director is why I do that, because I also don't like for you all to have that look of an individual agent. You need to have the strength of that you are a company, and it doesn't matter if you don't have anyone else with you. You be a managing director. Make sense? All right, guys. Before we go, anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
For the interview with you, is that doing the strategy session?
Mm-hmm. If you want to actually do a breakdown of what you need to do for you, actually like, hey, help me pull this out of me. Yes, that will be directly with me.
Is that when I also would find out about the coaching with you?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So just to recap, the LinkedIn, the YouTube, the Facebook, those social media channels you want us to establish if we have not for this week, or tweak it and make it better. Correct?
If you don't have it, there's 2 things you can do. You can either set it up, or you can wait until next week. And just know that you need to work on it, because when we do this, we're going to tell you what categories we're going to put. The next checklist are going to have the categories that you should have. We'll try to have some examples for you all that you can use for banners, even though I'm creating a banner for you, so you don't need that. But for if I'm not doing World's marketing right now, then you would need banners. And for hashtags, like LinkedIn, there's certain hashtags that you need to make sure that your business page is set up. So if you want to get a head start, you can go ahead and set it up, and you can just compare, cross check. We can give you some things, or you can get a step-by-step guide to do it.
Yeah, I'd recommend waiting for the step-by-step so that you're not double doing,
Yeah. Don't have to go back in there and clean it up and all that.
And I just want to make sure, do you sleep?
Not often. Not often.
What's that? I heard of it.
Yeah, that's one of my goals this year. Isn't that ridiculous? One of my goals this year is to sleep, to get sleep.
Hey, Tracy, quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I began setting up a local Facebook page, more of a kind of like a Your Small Town Facebook page, and I just wondered that fit along with what we've been saying? It
Hmm.
would be for my local
Uh-huh.
area.
Yes.
And I was imagining it that I would be posting videos about the local area and things
Mhm.
like that.
Yes.
I have a name. I think I have Live Love Wilton on there right now, but I've been thinking about switching it to Wilton Home and Garden and Ranch, or I don't even know, something.
I
Or
love
I could go with
I
Wilton.
like the first one.
Yeah, the first one's really nice.
Because
So
you
Live
can,
Love Wilton.
That's
like in your
awesome.
description, for you guys that don't know Joanna is a new commercial real estate agent who's in Northern California. She's in a town that I have to go visit her because they've got horses and vineyards, and people move there just not because it's practical, but because it's beautiful to live there, right? So I've got to go to this town. But Joanna is about to become the hometown reporter, kind of like what Susan's working on. You're going to become that hometown person that's talking all kinds of things about the area, interviewing people and all that. So to answer your question about this Live Love Wilton, I love it because it's catchy. Doesn't pigeonhole. It does not give the appearance of a real estate agent. And what you would do is put sponsored by. This page is sponsored by or presented by JLJ Advisors, or however we're going to name that, which is a commercial real estate agent. I did not talk about this. Dang it. Guys, in everything that you do, you have to say that you're a commercial real estate agent. It needs to be in your YouTube channel, your Facebook descriptions, your LinkedIn, everything you do. No, everything. Like, it has to have a little blurb that you are a commercial real estate advisor, or you're the managing director of, and in this market. You have to, because if not, people don't know that what you do. And that's one of the things that we have seen consistently in almost every, I would say probably 80% of the people that we worked with over the years. They're not telling what they do. They're this, commercial real estate agent, they can do it, but they're not telling it. And we've seen that across multiple industries. You have to tell what you do. So in your case, Joanna, with your website, with your Facebook page, you're going to say that it's sponsored by JLJ Realty Advisors or Advisors, which is a real estate group, based in this area, and you all specialize in investment sales, this, and this. What we talked about, yesterday on the coaching.
Yeah, that's real strong. And eventually, I'll talk to you and also about a strategy where you can join the chamber, and then you can interview different people in the town that are high up in the chamber, and then co-sponsor that content out there and boost it to other people. So
I love that.
that's a real smart move you're doing there. Become the brand, become that media company, do the thing.
Thank you. One quick question. So I was also considering Wilton Living. Do you like Live Love Wilton, or do you like Wilton Living?
Live, love, Wilton.
Yeah, Live Love is so emotionally charging.
It's catchy.
It
Yeah.
feels something.
Now that I'm saying it out loud.
There you go.
You can do decals with that.
Yes.
You can do decals. You can do T-shirts. You can do hats. There's all kinds of
I
things.
think
Very
everybody
marketable.
would like to have that logo on something.
Exactly. That's a good way to kind of go in and take over the town. Live, love,
Love
Wilton.
that chamber idea. Ooh, we're talking.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Okay, now this time for real. Any more questions? Going once, going twice.
Going chicken soup with rice.
Chicken soup with rice.
Yeah, that's a famous book. Going once, going twice, going chicken soup with rice. I remember that from the only thing I remember from the second grade. Hey Joe, have you ever heard of that song "Hey Joe" by Jimi Hendrix? You never heard that song?
Joe? No, I don't think I have.
Oh my goodness!
Okay,
yes.
gonna have
I thought you were gonna say Bob Marley or Jimi Hendrix. Where are you going with that gun in your hand?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That song, "Hey Joe." I'm sure you've heard that 500 times. I just didn't want to scare nobody because the lyrics can be scary.
So if we hear music next week when Joe comes on,
Yes, we're gonna have
that's why.
Jimi Hendrix in the building for you. Buddy.
I'll have to hook you up with my brother Ross. He's he graduated from Berkeley School of Music in Boston, but now he does he does the music and he works with lyricists. But he's been trying to build his brand, getting into that. He lives in New York, but
Yeah, Berkeley is amazing. Their school, oh my goodness, yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm sure he's just loving life right now, man. That's quite an alma mater there, man.
Well, he hates life right now because he's living in New York City and everybody's bailing. He just wants to get out.
That's right.
Anyway, we'll talk.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey,
All right, guys,
truly
it's been
enjoyed
fun.
you guys.
We will see you
See you
on
guys.
next week.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Have a great
Yes.
weekend. Bye,
God
guys.
bless y'all. I have really enjoyed you. Talk soon.